This is Peter from HTP Welders. He is down here helping us this week on, actually not help, he's showing us the right way to do things.
No. I'm showing you how I do stuff. Really, I'm just here for entertainment purposes, not for educational purposes. Whatever you see me do, it's in nowhere a how-to, what you should do to your truck. You should consult with a professional, not a YouTuber, too.
Okay. Anyway, so we're hoping to weld this frame together and it hold together and it not, like I don't want Westen to call me in 2 months and saying, hey, I was just going through Chicago and my frame broke in half, and so he can call him instead of me.
Yes, Chicago's not that bad. We can do that.
Yeah, so if it doesn't in Chicago, we can just go to his place and get it fixed too.
It's
so.
taillight warranty. Once the taillights are gone, the warranty's gone.
So I'm pretty excited. Peter's down here. He is to me, he is a book full of knowledge, all right there in that head of welding. Westen thinks he could weld the Titanic back together and make it float again, but that's literally what he said. He said Peter can weld the Titanic back together, and I'm sure you guys have seen these HTP welders. So Cletus has got one, Westen's got one. There's quite a few YouTubers.
Motion Auto has one.
Yep. And this is the man that makes all that happen, and I absolutely love this guy. Him and his family both, they're all down here for the week, and we're gonna have some fun welding, and the wife and the kids are going getting their, I don't know what they're doing, but hopefully not spending too much money.
Watching YouTube.
Yeah.
Right now.
Oh, is that what they're doing?
That's what they're doing.
Good. So yeah, let's get started.
All right, so we're gonna add, what do we say, 35 inches to this?
Yep.
So what we're gonna do is, the location that we're gonna pick is right here. The reason why we're gonna pick this, when you look over on this side, here, right here, you got some frame doubling going on, and then there is no frame doubling going on anywhere else. What we wanna do is, after we put the 35 inch or maybe 3 foot section in here, we want to be able to put double frame in it. So wherever, if there was double frame here already, then it would be in the way. But we're gonna cut it right here through that cross member. So what we're gonna have is, we're gonna cut this right here. All right, so we're gonna cut this right here. Come down this way. Make a step cut that way. That frame here is 10.5 inches tall, so that's like 5 1/4 on each side. I'm gonna go down like this way, cut down here. And then the part we're gonna add in is gonna be cut just like that. And here, this bolt, that's our cross member. So when we do the frame splice, we have the cross member mount bolting and tying together the old and the new right here.
So it's just going to double the string. Yeah, heck yeah.
Yes.
That's perfect.
Yes. So now if we may have to shorten that cross member if we want to get a double frame in it.
Yeah.
Yes. And then we're gonna slide that back, and then basically, or slide from here the truck forward with that cross member, or that piece back, either which way. Then put another section in place that 3 foot longer, and do the same thing. We add another cross member at the other end of the splice.
Yep.
That will tie in just like that. So you have the cross member supporting the splice as well.
On both ends.
And then from our weld seam here, like on this side forward, we're gonna go another 10 to 12 inches with our doubled frame. And then on that side, we're gonna go another 10 or 12 inches with our doubled frame. And then you see you have another 3 or 4 inches till your frame doubling starts here. So that should be
bolts too.
Yes, then you have all the bolts here to hold through that double frame as well. So I think that's a good location that we picked there.
Yeah, I think it is too. It's perfect actually, that cross member. And I've actually got a couple of these cross members as well, so.
So we need two 3 foot sections to make the stretch. Then we need 2 5 foot sections for doubling up the frame, and an extra cross member, mag drill, bunch of bolts, some welding. Shouldn't take nothing, right?
Sounds like it should be done by lunch. Next week.
Christmas.
Oh, that's exciting. I love cutting the truck, but I hate cutting the truck. So she is going to be hanging.
Yeah, and then if you want to do are you still rolling there? Mm-hmm. So if you want to do reinforcement on the outside, I mean, there's two schools of thoughts. There's a school of thought where you're gonna go grind it all flush, paint it, and hopefully DOT never sees you weld it on the frame. Or there's the other school of thought where you could go ahead and you could do a fish plate here, typically like diamond shaped, kind of like this. And you would set this right here. If your frame was gonna start to crack, it's either gonna start here or it's gonna start on the inside back here. It's always gonna start to crack on the lower flange. And then it's gonna crack up the web. And the reason you make a step cut is to interrupt that crack, to give you some more time. If it was gonna start to crack, you would see this. What this fish plate does is, instead of letting it crack up unprohibited, like all by itself, you would have to give it a cross point in its way here, and the crack has to choose, do I want to go left or do I want to go right? So that slows it down a little bit. And even if it would crack, when it comes to that edge, it has to change directions again. So that buys you a lot of time. What's important here, frames like this, typically, there could be a sticker under the hood, there may not be a sticker under the hood. What happens with these frames, they have like 90,000 to 110,000 PSI tensile strength, typically, give or take. And when you buy sheet metal at your welding supplier, like your regular plate, it's A36, that's 36,000 PSI tensile strength. So don't put your 1018 or your A36 on here and think that that would be a good way to create a backing here or some reinforcement on the back. Try to use high strength steel, even an old or used frame rail. Try to fit it in snug. If you only have frame rail that has the same dimensions like this one and you can't fit it inside, then take the top flange, cut it off, and use the bottom flange and the web to put it in. Bolt it. When you do bolt holes, don't torch them. A torched bolt hole kind of looks like this. And every one of these here is a potential origin of a stress crack. You want to have a mag drilled, perfectly round hole or machined hole, where on a round hole there is no edge for a stress crack to start to originate. Use grade 8 hardware. Use flange nuts to spread the load over the frame rail. When you weld on these frames, use filler wire or rods that match that tensile strength. Don't go and weld with your regular 70,000 PSI MIG wire on it and think you're gonna be okay, because you're gonna be 20 or 40,000 PSI shy of where you need to be to create proper strength. So yeah, match your filler material accordingly. Watch your heat affected zone next to the weld. Whenever you weld in high strength steel, you change the temper. You either draw the carbon from the hard part into your weld, which makes your weld hard, so that later on when it cracks, it fails right through the weld. Or if you don't draw enough carbon in it, then it fails right in the heat affected zone next to the weld. So you want to watch this. You want to make sure you don't put too much. Put enough heat in it, what you need to put in. Use your right tensile strength filler material, but don't go too crazy. Don't like preheat it till it's bright orange glowing, and don't anneal it, and just weld it, be smart about it, and things should work out.
This is a pretty important thing that you want to work out though, because if it fails, you really probably in a bad situation.
Well, I mean, I've seen people stretch just regular semi-tractors into like moving trucks, like 24-foot box trucks. And then what you have is you have all that weight of that box sitting on the frame. Or when they make container roll-off trucks and they can't get a real truck and they use just a semi-tractor, like a day cap, and they feel we can stretch it 11 feet and put like a Paul Finger roll-off system on it, then you have the load all on your frame, where here the hitch is placed in the center of the tandems So in reality, stretching this or not, as you pull a heavy load, it's not changing how much load goes on the frame. And I don't want to say the load is minimal, but that's what, a 12,000 pound front axle?
Yep.
So you have the weight of the sleeper, the cap, and whatever. I mean, whatever is over that stretched area, there's really nothing over it. The sleeper ends right here.
Yep.
We're cutting behind it. There's just a bunch of air. There's not really any actual weight on that stretched area.
No, there really ain't. I mean, the
It's
weight
not-
that's on it's there. It's going to be there all the time anyway. And like this thing probably weighs 10.5 on the front axle right now. By the time you put a load on it, it's at 12,000, a full 80,000 pound load. And how often Westen would even put that much weight on it would probably be very, you know, just. But not even using Westen as an example. Even if this was your everyday truck that you pull 80,000 pounds, what he's saying is like there's really not going to be a lot of weight.
It's not going to be a lot of weight on that section of the frame. Now, it still needs to be
Strong, yeah.
strong.
Next. There goes the airbag. Choo. ABS. I'll cut that one back here. This baby is officially immobile. She ain't going nowhere. Stuck right here now.
Then I feel it just.
It just went down like, oh, you're killing me. She is immobile. So now we're gonna pull the drive shaft out. We've got to take it to the drive shaft shop, get it. I want to get it rebalanced because I feel like it's out of balance. We're gonna put all new U-joints in it, new drive shaft. Get all that done, and all this junk here, we're just gonna redo all this. I don't want no, like this is ugly right here. This is stuff that I don't like. You know, it just, I mean, it works, but it's also very, very, very ugly. And you can see all these wires are rubbing together and going around the frame right there, chafing. That's ran over the frame up there, which I get, that works, and it'd probably be fine right there, but I want it nice and neat and pretty and run like it's supposed to run, not over the frame. Right at little.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Perfect. 35, 36 inches. So you could do a 3-foot stubby drive shaft in between.
Not even have to even do nothing to this one at all.
Then you don't have to do nothing with this, correct?
Yeah, I like that idea. So do another carrier here.
Do another carrier there, and then just run your 35 or 36 inch stubby shaft from there to there, and just move that one back with all the other stuff. That way you just add a link, you don't have to even modify anything. No, you kind of got to. I mean, when I hired my sister-in-law, I paid her, I want to say, whatever I could.
Yeah.
Like back then,
Westen, I found your problem. He had a vibration.
Oh, loose?
Yeah. Let's see how many's loose. Oh, yeah. Yep, there's your vibration, buddy. Well, you can see where it's been spinning too. Oh,
Yeah. Well, you gotta put a new joint in it then.
Yep.
That's not that tough.
I'm glad though, because I was thinking, I hate when they're hard to get out and they twist off and you have to find another yoke.
And then if your vibration comes from your input side there on the pinion, and the bearing is shot, and then you have to put a new pinion bearing in and set the backlash and everything.
I was coming home with this thing yesterday. We had it out at the body shop, and I was bringing it back here, and as soon as you touched the throttle, it started clicking like the U-joint's about to come out of it. I'm assuming it is this, but
Well, check the other ones.
let's see. Here we go. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
All right, well, screw this thing. I'm getting him. When these come out, it ain't no fun.
When they strip out, when they come out, then it's fun.
I ain't never had one come out that easy. Oh yeah.
Shake that. It's loose, but not horrible.
Yeah, it's not too bad. I'm gonna say it was definitely in that U-joint right there. Cause you can see back in here, it's just full of dirt back where it's supposed to be. So that thing was just loose and just building up around it, and it's out of. So that would have a lot to do with it. And then this thing here, you can see it's all loose. It's slip yoke. Yeah, I definitely like the idea of doing the stubby and then just rebuild these U-joints. And maybe even get a slip yoke, because that was a little wore. This thing's got 1.6 million on it.
Only. It's barely broken in.
Yeah. Man, these are all loose.
Because next thing you know is some guy's gonna do the same thing. It breaks because he does something wrong, gets a lawyer and says, see, this guy said that this is how you do it.
This is how you're supposed to do it. You're supposed to cut it like this and weld it like this. Come on, baby. Oh, I ain't got anything in here. JJ,
So,
I'm trying to teach you how to do it. Come in here and do this for me.
alright.
This is why you wear steel toe boots. Now watch it.
Yeah. I missed my boots. I can't walk in them though. It sucks. I've got, what is that called again, you remember? Plantar fasciitis in my feet.
Oh, my wife has that too.
Yeah. So I can't
So
wear
no more high heels for you, huh?
no more, yeah. I've got a set of boots being made that's supposed to like have the arch for me. I gotta have my boots back. I'm about to get crazy with shoes.
You should see these socks that he has to sleep in. I couldn't do it. There ain't no way.
Yeah, like hold my feet back and all this stuff. And I'm a big guy, and I probably do more stuff to my body than I should. You can see that crap.
Yeah, I know.
And then yesterday, I jumped a forklift off a trailer, and that really hurt.
I got the video.
No, seriously, did you just drive up what, 48-inch, 42-inch loading deck height? Like full?
Full blast off the back. It hurt bad. Like that thing don't have no suspension.
I know.
I didn't mean to, the brakes failed on me. But I said this was gonna happen. I said, there's a chance the brakes are gonna fail. Bam, failed, and then. So I thought he was behind me, and I turned around to look, and I didn't have a reaction.
Hey, you're just lucky everything is here, nothing's broken.
Yeah. I'm not even supposed to have my legs. Pretty blessed to still have those.
You be around here looking like Lieutenant Dan.
I know, right? Dang it, they didn't even have the cross member bolts over here. I wonder if it'd be quicker just to chop those off. Plasma cutter or something.
Torch, cut the head, and then a pneumatic air hammer, blip, blip, put the things in, good to go. Buy all new hardware, flange bolts, and then what you do, is that still rolling? And then what you do is after you cut them off with the torch, take the pneumatic chisel, put them in. When you put the new ones in, stick the bolt in from the inside, so you have the flange nut on the outside. You're always supposed to torque shit from the nut side, not from the bolt side. And it's a bitch to get something in here to torque it, so that way you have the nuts all on the outside.
Right.
I mean, it depends on how much looks matter, okay? But that would be the way, the easy way.
Just shoot out.
Other side.
Well, at least over here there's only a couple bolts in it, not all of them.
No, over there was 3. You see where you see the imprint here? I'm gonna grind this till you see the imprint there, and then just watch, film that, and then I'm gonna hit that with a punch and there they fly. There we go. Good to go. Cross member out, boss.
Out, baby.
Well, loosen those 2 by hand there by you. There's two by you.
Oh, right here?
Yeah, they're only hand tight. I think that one has a nut still on the back.
Kick to the yeah. figures. Like pull the bolts over.
Or you can leave it, well, no, it needs to come out because we need to shorten it by the width of 2 inner frame rails. Otherwise, I say you can leave it in, we can cut around it.
One more, 2 more. I'm gonna calling in reinforcements. Man, Peter. Peter is the man.
Self-destruction.
He likes to cut shit off, so. Ma'am, take over.
Is there only that one here?
Yeah, it's that one hopper.
Yeah, that's fine.
I think once this side's off,
The other one will slide.
Yeah, I think it'll slide out. I'm pretty sure that's what will happen.
Put sunglasses on or so, because if shit flies your way, I hate to fuck up your eyes, because it's gonna go this way.
They ain't looking too hard, are they? Oh.
There she blows. Whew. Man, oh man.
Not even all that rusty. Just a little bit caked on.
This truck's actually in pretty good shape.
It's nice, yeah.
I was very surprised, honestly. He's got the right one to do the project with. It's geared right. It's got 13 speed, 525 Cummins, which we're going to make it like a 700 Cummins. We're going to put the juices to her. Wonder why it's plated right here. Here. That's kind of weird. Maybe it's already been stretched.
No, I don't think so. I don't see a.
I see. It's got the. I guess right here is where the bracket is for the spring, so maybe it's just reinforced.
Yes, that's for the spring mount reinforced. Correct. And I bet you see down there for the spring mount is reinforced too.
Okay.
For the other axle.
That makes more sense.
Essentially, what this is just a big washer. It's not really so that the load is not as high on the individual hole on the flange of the frame.
Well, what we do now, cage the brakes to where it'll roll. What do you think the best? So usually what I do is take like 4 stands, like I also cut like 4 square Cubans and put one on each, like weld them to the bottom, tack them. And then that way when you cut it, it's, you know.
Well, so normally what I like to do is I like to have a drywall square or a carpenter square.
Yeah.
And then lay this all out first where I need to be. And then we can cut the top and most of the side without doing anything. But I leave some of the side usually. And then I cut the bottom. The bottom you can cut too, because if nothing else it wants to collapse. And then what I do is, if no camera is watching, I just have a big jack with like a 4x4, put it under. Yeah. That's my mobile adjustment, because there's hardly no weight there.
Yeah.
I don't really cut like real jack stands too, because you always have to like adjust it up or down when the new piece comes in a little. Like that piece just will hold on its own, just with the 2 axes it won't tip.
Yeah.
And this one I just put like a jack under it. Or if we had a steel ceiling, chain fall.
Yeah, that's kind of what happened to my beam up there.
Yeah.
May have had something to do with my Air Force truck. But yeah, I like the jack, and I like your idea way better. It just seemed more time efficient.
Well, I wish I had 10% of the faith that you have in me.
JJ's busy.
Bring that sleeper over here,
Well,
cut that door in, or you want to get it out there?
I don't know. I gotta make up my mind yet. I'd rather do it here.
Now, one thing, next week is going to be the hottest time of year to see here.
How hot?
Looks like it's supposed to be the hottest part of the season next week.
It better be. You're talking like 110.
110 here.
Yeah. I'll survive Florida's weather. I'll survive here. So that right there's gonna hold this big truck.
That's what the man said, so yeah, to hold it. If it won't, I will. Guys, what I'm doing here is releasing these here brakes that are on this front axle. That way, when these here brakes are released, when we cut this frame in half, we can just roll it back out of the way, put our sections in, weld her back up, put it back in place, and then bam, she's 3 foot longer. It's crazy to think we're adding 3 foot to this truck. It's gonna look sick, that's for sure. It is going to look absolutely sick. And most of your spring brake chambers have this in it. So I actually pulled this off the side over here, right in this tube. It's a 3/4 nut. You stick it in there, you twist it, and it locks into place, and then you tighten this up against the chamber. It pulls that spring and presses it, and then that releases your brakes. So if you're ever stuck on the side of the road, brakes locked up, something like that, you can go in there and cage the brake chamber. So that's what we're doing here, and we're gonna start cutting. Hey Peter, on a step cut.
So what I did is, this is my rear mark here. So you'll be right about here. And the step is going to be 12 inches. I measured here because I have 8-inch center to center on the cross member mounts, and I want it to be 2 inches next to those. All 5/8.
Where's that soap stuff? Soapstone. I laid it somewhere over there.
You ball, did it?
Laid it over there.
There it is.
A bad logic board on it. He wants replacement for it, and we actually still have one. Can you imagine that?
That's crazy.
I told him was that normally parts is like 8 to 10 years after the machine is discontinued.
Alright guys, it's apart. It's literally cut in half. That's my favorite part about it. I guess that's the easy part, isn't it?
Yeah, breaking a perfectly good truck, fixing something that wasn't broken. That's the easy part.
That's the easy part. So guys, that's going to finish off today's video. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, leave us a comment. We definitely love reading your comments. And we'll see you on the next video. We got to put this thing back together and hopefully make it go straight down the road and all the brakes work and the lights and all that good stuff. So we got a lot of stuff ahead of us and we got a tight deadline. So stay tuned. This is going to be a fun project and I'm glad you guys are here with us. So we'll see you later.